Okay, so another day. It's like, oh my gosh. So I woke up this morning early and I lay there for a while, but then I got up. But when I came outside or came out here, and I saw it's like so foggy, so extreme, and it is so fucking cold. I can't even believe it. Like, I can't imagine people would be out camping right now. It is freezing. And it was so foggy this morning. So it rained yesterday, because they had the heat wave. And it's so sad because all of those plants I had planted are all shriveled up and died. My only hopes is, that nature's going to come back and those plants, are going to come back next year. So I don't. It's just sad to see. I mean, my yard. It's hard for me to just go out there and sit because everything, it looks like death. I feel like I'm just sitting at a wake, and then you can see the air. You can't see it right in front of your face, but you can see it up against the hills. And I'm surrounded by mountains, so everywhere I look out, I see the smoke. And it just weirds me out is because, like, so when I went out this morning to get footage of that, dead silence, no fucking birds, no squirrels running around. Like, they get excited when it's dawn. As soon as, like, before, especially last summer, and I had my window open. I haven't opened my window this year in my bedroom, but when I had opened it last year, it'd be like 4 in the morning. As soon as there was any light in the sky, birds would go crazy and just start singing and wake you up because it would be so loud with all the birds singing. There's nothing. It is fucking silent. And the squirrels, they should usually be out running around in the morning. It is fucking death. And then you see the smoke that we're just breathing in. It's killing everybody. And I don't know. And these fucking loud ass planes that go over. I mean, so loud. Like I said before, I think that something is going on. Like the firmament is closing in on us, ready to explode. Because it is so fucking loud. And when I look up and I see these random jets, or I don't even know what the hell. Some of these planes will look so far. If I even get to see one, they will look so far away. And, before they were going on that one path. Now they're just all over the place. And it's so loud. I saw one yesterday. It was just because I happened to be outside getting the footage of either the smoke in the atmosphere or the silence of nature. And so when I was doing it, a loud plane went over, and so I was able to look up and see, and it was super, super far. And you could hear it before it ever got there. Like, I could hear it for a long ways, and then it got to where it was over me, and then I could hear it for a long ways again. That is weird. And I can't even believe that the people who have lived here for a long time, that doesn't even trigger anything. They don't even come out. They don't even look around. I mean, I don't know, maybe on some other blocks, there's people coming out and they're talking about it with their neighbors. Like, what's going on? Why is there so many planes going over us? Why are they so loud? Because we never had planes before. Like, it's so weird. And I just feel like people just don't even pay any attention. They don't even notice. Like, all of nature, all of the trees will be dead, and they'll still be sitting there saying, what time are you going to get to work? How much is gas going to be? Should we buy some groceries? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just disturbing. It's disturbing to just realize that you just are living by all these people that are just, there already is a zombie apocalypse. I've been referring to this place as Red Zone Zombie Apocalypse since the beginning. Just being around people who are just on autopilot, don't even think for themselves. They're just a part of the game, a part of the system. What do some people call that? The players in the game or something? They're called something like, because I've seen a lot of people sharing the Dolores Cannon stuff, talking about the side players or whatever they are. And to me, it's always been, you're in your own reality. You're living your own reality. You're learning your own stuff. The people that don't have anything to do with your orbit, with what is going on, your soul group, the people who are contracted to you, are going to seem like bit players. They're just out there living their lives. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but they're not involved with my life. And I've always thought of them as just, it's our perspective, it's our perception of who isn't involved in our life or just bit players in the game. Because it is a game. We're in a game. And some people play along with the game. And then some people start realizing, hey, wait a minute, we're in a game. How do we get the hell out of it? I had this little trap set up because when I got home, there was a bunch of fruit flies. And, I hadn't even been here. So there was all these fruit flies, but that keeps happening. That happened last summer. The gas station got so full up here with fruit flies, they couldn't even have donuts anymore. So I don't know. The fumigation obviously doesn't kill fruit flies. So they were all over the place. So I made one of those little traps. And I had all that fresh fruit. So I put the seed, like peach seed and a plum seed, in the vinegar and then cover it with plastic, tie it over the bowl, poke coals all over the top. And then they get in, but they can't get out. So pretty soon you have this bowl full of fruit flies just desperately trying to get out. And when I was looking at them, I did a TikTok of it because it just reminded me of the whole collective. And to me, this is hell, where I said, you think they think they're in hell? Trapped in here, don't know where to go, don't know how to get out, don't know where they are. Because that is what humanity is, because we are like trapped in the game. And those of us who wake up, it's like, how do we get out of this game? Like, I can pull myself free mentally. I can understand it's a game. I can understand it's a movie. But to witness yourself, as everything is being killed around you, that's where it gets hard. Like, I could live my own life if it wasn't being poisoned all the time. And then seeing what it's doing to nature. Like, when you get like more spiritually connected, you're automatically connected to everything that is spiritual, everything that is natural, everything that is the creation of nature and stuff. Like, you automatically start connecting to that. Like, I've seen so many people talk about like things coming down, like they're getting messages and stuff from bugs, birds, everything. And I've noticed that for so long because we're connected to all that stuff. It's always giving you signs. It's always showing you direction. It's always confirming that they're there, through numbers and stuff. Like I said one day, because this happens to me all the time. So I did this TikTok, and I don't even know if people even understood what I was talking about. But I said, isn't it weird how you hear it in the physical? No, you hear it. Okay, what I said was, isn't it weird how you hear it in your head, then you hear it in the physical, like someone's trying to communicate with you? Because that is true. The universe is trying to communicate with you. So I will hear things loud in my head, and then it could be the TV, it could be a song, it could be anything that will give me the same message that I just heard in my head. And I know some people think like, oh, that's psychic and stuff like that, because those are labels. But I'm talking about just how it works, because you could look at it like, yeah, that you hear it in your head and it's about to happen. You hear it in your head, someone's about to call you, and then they do. You hear it in your head, somebody you're thinking of, and then they message you, all of that stuff. But that is, to me, the hearing it in your head is this communication. It is what creates this concept of being psychic. It's tuning in and listening to what is being spoken to you and the signs that they show you all around you. When you tune in, tap into that kind of energy, it's all around you. And to me, it is totally trippy because there is always communication happening. And I feel bad for the people who are completely cut off from it. But I do feel like people are having like their deepest stuff come up. I do feel like on TikTok, well, one of the things too on TikTok, because I the other day when I didn't finish what I was saying, but all these people keep getting really, really upset that celebrities are trying to come in and take over TikTok. Like, you know, I guess like Justin Timberlake or something even said, well, everybody's on TikTok. I guess I'm going to have to move over there to get in on the action. And it's like all the people were like, we don't want you here. Like, we would come and find you if we wanted you. We don't care about you. Go away. And in doing that to all sorts of celebrities. Like, I don't know who's on there, but people go on. Like, like Kevin Bacon was on there shaming everybody, like what we need to do and stuff like that. People are done with that shit, like real done. Like, those people who come in and try and say stuff like that, they will get attacked. Like, the people who they think are their fans are, no, it's not like that anymore. People are fed up and they don't want this, people telling them. But one thing I was excited about is people sharing this Rob Schneider tweet. It's so funny too, because Twitter used to be like the big frontier to me, because it is where all of these politicians and stuff were on. So when they were saying shit, that's where I got myself in trouble, saying shit back to them. But anyways, people are doing it now to the celebrities. But anyways, the Rob Schneider one, I was really excited about his, and people keep sharing it because he goes through all of this scientific stuff, why we can't eat bugs. Birds can eat bugs because their system can handle it, but humans can't. And he explains some of the stuff, like we could do more research, but it's like something with chitin or something that's inside of them, and the chemicals that are inside of bugs, we can't process them in our bodies, and it would tear our bodies down. But that's all part of the experiment, is always to see like what we can handle. It's so funny too, is because there's so much with the social experiments as well. And I was just thinking about, it's weird because we would have these movies of these social experiments that were done on people. Like the one about what happens if you put a group of people in a prison setting and then you pick them randomly. Okay, you're a prisoner, you're a guard, you're a prisoner, you're a guard. But then they start to fill into their roles, their concept, their idea of what that role is. And automatically it becomes a division between these two different groups. And it happens over and over and over. But, that's part of our own consciousness that needs to come in. Like, we need to be able to look at that and see like, oh, we don't want to be like that. We don't want to divide on things. We need to figure out what we have in common and work on what we have in common, and stop thinking that there's a hierarchy. They're constantly creating this hierarchy. And I guess there's a new show that people are talking about on Netflix called The Family. And I don't know how old it is, but it gives a lot of insight into some seedy shit that has gone on. And the only thing is, it's kind of weird, is it's on Netflix. So has Netflix already been taken over? Because the people who run it wouldn't be telling us the truth about anything. So, I don't know. That's always the thing. Like, if even when they do something on Jeffrey, they will go in and they'll lean things the way they want. They'll divulge the information they want out. They won't give you everything because it's them who are running the show. What was it I saw yesterday? And it was something with HRC, and I can't remember. I watched this show yesterday. This blew my mind. So I keep having, like, I'll just put on, because I can't ever find anything. Like, I don't know, I kind of miss those days when you could just come in, turn on a movie, and just veg out, And so I kind of lean towards the older movies because of that. I definitely don't lean towards big box office, superstars, and stuff like that. I'm way more of a, classic movies, like way more into Jimmy Stewart. Oh, man, I love it. William Powell. But there's people who, I'm just not into big box office, newer movies, So, but that doesn't mean I haven't seen any. But anyways, that's not what I would tend to go and look for to watch. I was way more of a Lifetime movie. Like I fed off of Lifetime movies. That was like, if I had a day off, and it would be, especially if it was a rainy day, it'd be like, oh, I'd have this big chair. I really like the big chairs. It was even bigger than this one because my child could sit in the chair with me. And so it would be, get all set up with my snacks or whatever I was going to do, and then turn on Lifetime movies. And I had cable back then, so it would just be like Lifetime movie after Lifetime movie, And I love the true stories. So that was always kind of more my entertainment. And then, let me get back on track what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. So this movie I put on yesterday. So I was listening to all these different, like I'll listen to different meditation one, and then I'll listen to music, and then I'll listen to waves. And so I'll just like keep switching it up. And then sometimes I'll go in and listen to a tarot thing, because a lot of times I feel like that's my communication. Right away you can tell if they're just like, nah, we got nothing to say. Or if you're getting real communication, you can tell, like, because they speak right to you. They'll tell you something that is completely where So anyways, I just haven't been able to watch stuff. So this movie came up, and it was an old movie. It was 1980. It had Jacqueline Smith, Robert Mitchum. And so I was like, oh, cool, I'll watch this one. And so I turn it on. And it's weird too, is because like months ago, I had turned it on, and then I just didn't even like how it started. So I just turned it back off. And then I kept wondering, well, where was that movie? Maybe I want to watch that. Where was that movie? And I never saw it again because I remembered how it started. It was just this way it came up to this really big house, and these people were talking. And so I don't know. I just didn't want to see it, but it kept sticking with me. So anyways, that was the movie. When I started it, it was that movie. And so I was like, oh, weird. And what was even weirder is I feel certain that I saw an older movie that was older than this one that was similar, like it had the same kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, am I just glitching here? Did I see this movie? And I think it was an older movie. Like, I don't know. It was weird. The whole thing was weird. But anyways, when I started it, there was something that was said that I had to do a TikTok over. It was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. So I'm going out and I'm showing all the time about the smoke, and I'm always talking about the poisoniness and what's happening in my area. Like, there's other people who still have birds and still have spiders and stuff, but I guess a lot of Canadians are also saying, something's going on with the squirrels and the birds and shit. Something's happening. And so, I'm just 20 minutes from there. And so, I don't know, we kind of share the same forest, maybe the same mountain ranges. I don't know. So, anyways, in the movie, so it's this rich guy. It has nothing to do with what happened in the part that I shared. The movie is just, the same kind of thing of people cheating and having affairs and murdering each other and stuff like that. The same old thing. But what this guy says, so this guy is supposed to be super rich. He's just, completely stereotypical asshole rich guy, wearing the big cowboy hat and boots and stuff. I mean, just, total stereotype. And then, so he comes back from this trip, and he's in his office, and this guy comes in and asks him how the trip went. And he said that he's not going to let any bankers fuck him around. He fuck bankers. They're so stupid. And he just plays them and stuff like that. And that they are not, something about him being controlled. So I won't be able to say word for word, but basically what he says is that the Russians and other people already are so further. This is 1980, mind you. They have so far gone past what we can do, that they are already blowing airborne toxins out of the satellites into our atmosphere. to poisonous. And he said for a temporary poisoning, like they can take over a city by blowing these poisons out of these satellites, these toxins or whatever it is, and blow them into a city and paralyze that whole city. So he's carrying on about this, but they are holding him back as a U.S. person trying to get money to do the same kind of stuff. They're holding him back and they won't give him money. So he's just going to get out of this whole game with biologics. He's so sick of the nonsense with the biologics. And, they've already gone so far past, and since they're holding him back, that he just wants out. And then there's more stuff, about the lab and stuff, and he's done with the lab and fire everybody. And he tells this guy who had come in to talk to him, go fire everybody. And the guy was like, well, I don't see why I, have to go fire everybody. That's not my job. And then the guy tells him, oh, well, why don't you just go back to the CIA then, where you left that good paying job? Just go back there. It's like, oh my God, damn. The shit that they have been telling us. That was 1980. This is 22. Like, how long ago was that? 40 years ago? Like, and people are just now being like, hey, what's up with this stuff they're spraying on us? And I kept saying that there is more to this spraying. I feel like we're being gassed, and it's right there. It's right in front of us. Like, you can see right there, the fog. You should not be able to see fog everywhere, or smoke, or whatever we want to think this is. I don't call it fog because right now it's fucking freezing cold out there. So I don't know. I just know it's bullshit. And I know they've been telling us for a long time. They're freaking killing us. I mean, it says it in their own damn paperwork that they're trying to kill us. So my throat is just killing me. Like, I feel like I'm breathing gas all the time. And I'm glad Stella is staying in more because she's doing so much better. Oh my gosh. I can't even believe how much better she's doing. She's doing so good. And I would say I feel really good. I feel like, I feel good. Like, there's just some things like, my eyes still have a huge problem. But now that I have learned more about, like, they're attacking our eyes on purpose. And so, I'm going to have to figure until they are taken down, my eyes are my open wound to what they're doing. And then, the high-pitched thing in my ears, I can still hear that. And this one foot, the foot that I was pushing on the gas with, it is, I don't know, it is where I feel certain it got smushed somehow, it got crushed. I think either Lucy had jumped on it or Stella, I think, jumped on it with all her weight. And then it was one of those things where you get hurt and you just blow it off. You don't think anything about it, but then it never is healed. So I don't know what happened. I'm constantly trying to rub it and do things and stuff, but it's been years and years. But of course, that's the foot that you got to push down on the gas. And when you're driving for 14, 15 hours, I don't know, it feels kind of like tendonitis. And I was hoping that would go away in the med beds, but I'm still having that. But, otherwise I feel really good. And I'm still doing that diatomaceous earth, like a spoonful of that every day. And the biotin, which I even feel like my eyelashes are growing. It's crazy. I feel like I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like that there is a more optimal way of being, but it's been hidden from us for so long. Like, we're all living in the dark, just trying to figure out how to stay healthy and be healthy. And it's so crazy too, is because like all these people are arguing and whining and scared about the food, the stores, and like they can starve us. And all these people who I follow about the weeds and the foraging and stuff, like, we don't even need to grow any fucking gardens. We don't need to grow any food. I mean, you can walk out. There is so much weeds. Like, things that they told us to kill. Like, oh, get rid of all those things, when they're all so highly nutritious. Like, we don't need to be eating. Like, there's so many people who think, like, I need to eat spaghetti with Alfredo sauce, garlic toast, and all of this stuff in order to be healthy and feel good. It's like, no, we don't need to eat any of that stuff. All of that stuff has been like, oh, hey, we can make poison taste real good. Come and eat some of this. And it's just good tasting poison. So, I just, I don't think that we have anything to fear over the food. Like, I still have, a bunch of beans, and I even have some rice and pasta stored up, but I have lots of different kinds of beans. But I think beans have a great value for protein and stuff like that. Even that Appalachian, that old lady that I saw talking, and she said, that she just gets the basics, but that always includes beans. And it has been in Hispanic, like poor communities, that they would always have in beans and stuff. So I do think it's good to have beans, and I have a bunch of lentils and stuff. So, I think that mixing in beans and lentils and then stuff, you find out like weeds, and, if you do grow any greens or whatever, just mixing those stuff up, we get all our nutrition. It doesn't have to taste like, creamed butter with all sorts of flavoring and stuff. Even I saw somebody talking about even the spices that they sell us have got different kinds of poisons in them and stuff. I can't believe how many people now spend so much time breaking down all the different poisons that are in the food. When you really get educated, like, they aren't kidding. A lot of these people on TikTok are like, TikTok is the red pill social media right now. It is the one where it's waking everybody up. People are going in and they're finding out so much information. People are sharing so much information. People are taking it serious. But like I said yesterday, we have these two groups, because you still have these people on there who are living this different reality. They're still on there dancing for dollars. Like, they're just still trying to get noticed. Like, look at me. Like, I have a butt right here. I have boobs right here. It's like, they don't even realize how they're just selling themselves short. But you can see when things switch, like, that would be a humiliation almost. Like, oh my gosh, all this stuff is going on, and I'm just sitting here shaking my ass for dollar bills. So they don't even pay any attention. They're so caught up in what they need, and what they need is attention all the time. Somebody give me attention. Somebody tell me I'm okay. Somebody give me some kind of lifeline. Make me feel like I belong here. And that's the whole problem with looking outside of yourself. But in this awakening, when everything flips the other direction, there will be nobody who's going to be there. You are the one who is granting yourself this, the saving. You are your savior. But you also have to face yourself. You have to look at yourself and all of your own issues to save yourself. Like, those people are going to have to look at, like, why was I focused on trying to get attention, using my body to get attention, and selling myself so short? Like, they're going to have to go in and look deeper. Like, was I sexually abused? Was I trained to devalue myself? Was I always trying to be pleasing other people? Am I over-sexualizing myself for, because that's how I've always gotten attention? Like, those are the things that people have to go in and look at themselves and break it down. And then you're like, okay, so, I'm over-sexualized myself. I've gotten attention for my butt. Now I want everybody to see it because I need attention. So why do I need attention? Why do I need strangers to tell me that they like my butt? Yeah, and so many girls. I mean, that has become like, fuck. I don't even know when that started. Like, the butt thing, and the going and everybody having to twerk and shake their ass and trying to get everybody to, hey, look how great my ass is and stuff. It's like it became a part of the whole Kim Kardashian movement, which, I'm really glad too to see where people are, I guess, that Caitlyn Jenner. No, not Caitlyn, because that's Bruce, right? Kylie Jenner, one of his kids. She, she has a huge following by young people. Like a lot of young people are really into her, and she sells products. They think she's super cool, and everybody wants her life. And, just like Kim has all these followers who just want to live her life and stuff like that. But so other people are pointing out, like, I guess Kylie yesterday took a jet. I guess she does it all the time, apparently. Take a jet from one end of LA to the other. It's like, yeah, the traffic sucks in LA, but for God's sakes, like, how much time do you save going in, getting on a plane, having to wait for your time to take off, go back? It is so bougie. It's so unnecessary. It's so ridiculous. And then you're telling us that we all need to cut back for our emissions when, so many people can't even drive right now because of the price of gas. So we need to cut back on our emissions, but you just go live your life, girl. But the thing that's really getting people is like the sociopathic behavior of these rich people. How do you watch people be homeless and starve? Like, the rest of us have compassion. We are human, and we feel for other humans, and we have, empathy and compassion. That's what I've talked about. This is the opening of empathy and compassion that creates the collective. So you have all of these people now who are beginning to look at it like, okay, rich person, you are obviously a sociopath because you can fly over and not even care that everybody down there is starving. Like, especially there was people making points like, Kylie could go and buy several houses and, create places for people to live. Like, she has an excess of money, apparently. But, the whole Kardashian, tribe has excessive amount of money. They are money hoarders. They are spokespeople to get us to desire that lifestyle and to do everything we can to create it for ourselves. They are living it on $1 million. Well, you can do it on 100. Whatever money you have, just dedicate it to being a fake, phony ass bitch. That's all you got to do. And that's what, they want to do. They want girls to be out there, like, don't think anything about your brain or who you are or how you feel or anything. Just go out there mindlessly shaking your ass, trying to get some dollars. So, I don't know. I think that so much is coming to the surface, and so many people are looking at things so much deeper. And that gives us so much hope for the future, because that's what it's all based on. Everything has to become more deeper. People have to become deeper. People are all just surface. They just don't even want to go any deeper into anything. They don't want to go deeper into their lives. And but everything is going to force that. Like, everything in this this flipping is going to force that growth. That's why, I say it's going to be super challenging. It's going to be super scary. It's going to be super dramatic, whatever's going to happen, because it's going to force change. It is like, it's going to be such a nightmare that it's going to wake people up, because I thought that was really good what that one guy had said. Nightmares are what you wake up from. You can go to sleep and you can just dream and dream and dream and live in your own little world. But once it becomes a nightmare, it's like, get me up, wake me up, I need out of here. So it really draws your attention in, and that's what this reality is going to turn into. Like, it's slowly been becoming a nightmare. Like, if you're awake, then you've been living in a nightmare. You've been watching this as it plays out, and it is a nightmare. But all of these other people haven't woke up to the nightmare, and that is going to be, it's going to be vindication for all of us, because all of us that have been called crazy and stuff like that is going to be, I guess we weren't crazy after all, were we? So it's going to be a relief for us. It's going to feel good for all of us. But for all of these other people who have been in denial and have been just focusing on something that didn't have to do with anything, then they are going to be faced with some hard, cold facts. I just saw this girl, it was this other girl sharing this duet, and it was this lady, and she's out in a parking lot crying, and she said, that she's supposed to be at work, but she just talked to her friend, and she says this person's name. So I don't know if we're supposed to know who this person is. He's a politician. I don't know who it is. But anyways, she says who it is, and says that she was talking to him about all the stuff going on. And she said, I'm becoming very unsettled about things. It's really bothering me. And he said, good, because that's what we need. We need everybody to become unsettled. We need people to become uncomfortable. And that is so true. And she said her husband had been asking her, do you want the red pill? Do you want the blue pill? Do you want the red pill? Do you want the blue pill? And she said, I do not want the red pill. I do not want the red pill. And so she now said, she's ready. She's ready to get uncomfortable. She's ready for the red pill. She's ready for the truth. But how many people have been staying in that kind of way of thinking, of just keeping themselves what they believe is safe? Like, this can't be happening. If I don't pay any attention, it will all go away. It can't be happening. I just need to focus on myself. And then you have all these spiritual people who say, just focus on what you want, and that you will create your own reality. But that is different than what really creating your own reality is. Just like like I still see people, you want to manifest a house? You want to manifest $1 million? No, that's not what it's about. It is, like somebody who is homeless. You want to manifest shelter, then you want to be putting it out there. You deserve a place to feel safe. You deserve shelter. And start picturing what you want. Look at pictures, go in, look on Zillow all the time. Look for what you want. Find what you want. Go in and look at it all the time. Look at the pictures. Start imagining yourself there. You may not get that house, but the universe will give you something that is similar. So it isn't just about like, oh, I just, give me a house, give me money, give me a car. It isn't like that. It is about you creating what you deserve. And, there's a lot of people who don't think they deserve anything, and so they will keep themselves in limitations. But when you do want something, it is about the creation of what it is you're looking for, not the material part of it. Not just like, it's about shelter. It's about safety. It is those kinds of things, not the materialistic part of it. Like, oh, well, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, upper deck, all of this kind of stuff. You don't just put out your order like that to the universe. You are the creator of your reality. So it is you putting it into your head. You are creating it. You are making it happen for yourself. So the universe is working with you. Like, the universe is around you all the time. It's giving you information. It's giving you signs. It's there with you. You have a team. You just focus on yourself because that's the only thing that you see in this 3-dimensional. But when you open yourself up, you realize, oh, I got a whole team here with me. And you start putting out there the stuff that you want. And then it comes back. And don't forget, this is another thing that it seems like people don't seem to get. There's divine timing. Like, everything's always going to happen the way it's going to happen. Like, if you all of a sudden are like, well, I'm going to manifest, a new home for myself in a new place, which, I feel like I've been doing that for a while now. And you focus on what it is that you want. Like, I put on ocean waves all the time. Look at to me, it is because I want to have a place on the beach. So I focus a lot on the beach and being excited and houses on the beach and being around the water, listening to the water, being happy. Like, you think about those kinds of things. Isn't that weird? Like the school bus going by. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the government is just, oh, right there all the time. Here we are. Here we are. Play your part. Play your part. It's like, fuck off with your fucking, oh. God, I cannot wait till the whole school system goes down. I cannot believe there are still people participating in this. And I just saw a teacher talking, and I've seen her saying some really good things. And when I first caught her, she said, you know, my account's going to probably be taken down over this, but people need to know. I don't remember what she was saying, but it was good. But then I saw her today saying, or maybe yesterday, but she was saying that I guess some kids are already starting back to school. Not here in the Pacific Northwest, but maybe on the East Coast. I don't know when they get out. But she said that it's implied consent. She said they will have the vans going around. They will pull up, you know, just like when you think about like the blood drives at school, you know, like, oh, we're having a blood drive. They're not going to take blood from little kids, but get their parents to come in or whatever. So, but it's that same kind of thing. They're just going to pull up in their van and, hey, everybody come out and get yours. It's free. And if you send the teacher said, if you send your child to school that day, it is implied consent. They don't have to call you. They don't have to ask permission. They'll just be out there just dosing everybody up with whatever they want to dose them up with. I heard now that it is 72 shots that a child is expected to take. And it used to be like 20 or something. Now it's 72. I mean, they are filling these kids full of chemicals from the go, you know. Starts out day one, here, we're going to fill you full of chemicals. And it's just so mind-boggling when you just realize, because it is all an experiment. They're just experimenting on us. They're just seeing, hey, where does this go? Like, we are literally lab rats. If you understand in a lab how little a lab rat or a mouse or anything has any kind of value, there is no value. We have no value other than parting us out for the parts they need to keep their relics going. So we literally are nothing. I mean, think about how the fraud he even used baby puppies that had no value. Like most of us, like, oh, baby puppies, oh my God, we all want to kiss them and hug them and smell their breath. And he let them be eaten alive, slowly, in his lab. And people participated. People worked there. Like, I don't know how many people walked out, but he obviously kept employees. And, you know, it's all led up to all of these sicknesses. There's so many people now I'm seeing that have the pox. And it gives me a new outlook on chicken pox. You know, it gives me a new outlook on every sickness that has come through as I've been alive. All of these sicknesses, I have a different look of all of them. And it would not surprise me at all if Fauci is, you know, hundreds of years old. Like, if he's been around this whole entire age. Like, I think that there's a lot of these people who have been here for this whole age. And, you know, and I don't even know what all has gone on in this age. Because there is, I don't know that I believe that the 1800s really are a part of our age. Because where did the technology go? How did they have so much technology, and where did it go? Like, why haven't we built on the technology they had in the 1800s? And that's not even considering when you go back further. Like, there is hieroglyphics that people show where it's obvious in these pictures that they're holding electronics, that they've got missiles, they've got spaceship, like all of this stuff. Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like this age has been, I don't know. I think that there's all these resets. I think that they go through and they start getting technology and they reset. They just wipe it out. Like those mud floods and Tartarian and all of this stuff. And oh my gosh, I cannot believe some of the pictures I've seen that are from the 1800s that, like, I have seen pictures of this, like, woman sitting on these books, and the books are the size of cars. Like, they're huge. And there was one, and it showed a building. It showed all of these people, and it looked like a giant square, like, the opening between in the city where everybody gathers or something. And so it shows all these people like scurrying around. It's like a video. And so you're watching, like, where do they get videos of this shit? Like, when was the camera invented? When was movies? Like, when you think back, like Charlie Chaplin and stuff, like the silent movies and stuff. Like, when was that? I don't know. Everything with time is so deliberately messed up. It just creates confusion, when you start trying to put it together. But so in this film that I saw, so it was people walking around this thing, and it's this giant building right in the middle. So it's like this giant building right here, and then this square, and all these people walking around. And so then you start noticing, like, man, that building is pretty big, but, we're used to skyscrapers. So, it was just like, okay, well, it's a tall church. But then all of a sudden it shows the houses that are next to it, and everything was really tiny. So all of these little tiny houses, and then this giant building. Like, I don't know. I really think that the giants have been so involved in different time periods in our history. And we have lived with them in union or in communion or in community. We've lived with them, where I think humans have lived with other beings for other periods of time. Like, even people like who have lived out in the Appalachian or in the mountains or in places, which to me, like what I had noticed when I was driving, is I feel like we're on a grid. Like, everything is a grid, and they have developed their cities kind of like they're told what grid they can follow. So they can follow certain grids, and they can create their portals. Like, our freeway system is a portal to another reality. Like, I had said this a while back, where it really got me thinking about, like, when I'm looking out and I'm seeing everything looks like a backdrop, it's like, and we think we have to travel a certain way, so we're going to create that travel reality to get to where we're going. But really, that's its own separate space. And so it is really different realities and portals that we move through to get to different places. When you go outside of those, that's when you get into these places that are kind of more open portals. Like where I was saying, where I was driving for hours and hours in the desert, and there was nothing, but there was like everything. Like, something was happening with time and space, and something, it was weird. It was tripping me out. I really thought, while I was driving through that, I really thought, I must be dead. Like, this is weird. Like, time and space was not the same. So, I think that is part of the creation, that there really is this difference in time and space, but we think that we are going to go here and there, and that we create the travel, and we, but it's all us. But none of it is real. Oh, I was saying that, something came into my mind that I really wanted to tell, something else that I had seen. I don't know if I can pull it back. I hate to just sit here and keep trying to think and think and think. So then I'll just stop. And then as soon as I finish, then I'll think of it then. If there's another thing that I could say while I try and think of it. And I keep getting call after call after call. All these 1-800 numbers. Hopefully it's the banks just desperate. Please, please, we need money. Give us money. It's like, fuck off. I'm ready to stop being a slave. I'm ready to be free. I don't give a shit about the system. I would literally go live in a tent and, oh, okay, now I remember. Yeah, I would literally go live in a tent and eat weeds. Like, I have no desire to be any part of their system. But, so what I had seen, remember I've talked about the naval map and how, it tripped me out when I very first started seeing it, because I had seen it about when I was first found out about Dolores Cannon, and I was really into her, and I was listening to her. I was going in and listening to her speak all the time. I got some books and stuff, and that's where I had heard about this projected naval map, and she was talking about like all these retired generals keep moving up here, and she lived high up in the hills in the Appalachian. And so she was talking about how odd it is all of a sudden. It was very noticeable that they're coming in and moving in. And so she was talking about this naval map. So anyways, then I started seeing where people were sharing this map saying that these certain billionaires have bought all this land up and stuff. So today I saw this girl share an overlay of the two maps because, in some of these conversations, in the comments, like I've commented and stuff, then it is, I don't know what the plan is, because it seems weird the billionaires who are part of this whole thing would buy land that's not going to be there anymore. So, that's curious. So she tried to do an overlay, but it didn't show specific. It would show different states. But anyways, when you put them over, it definitely overlaid that he is buying up. Like, I mean, I don't know how many, because he's buying acreage or whatever. And so it's, way less than a whole state of acreage, but it shows the whole state. But he's definitely buying up land mass that is going to be there after the floods or whatever's going to happen, after the firmament opens or whatever's going to happen. Hold on a minute. After whatever's going to happen is going to happen, that changes all the land. And so, of course, the people who are worried about that, then they get all like, oh, my God, they're going to own all the land. It's going to even be worse. But they want to just put us in a line anyways. They want to own all the land, but give us the line. It's like, that's so bizarre. It's so absurd. But anyways, I mean, they're losing everything. All these rich motherfuckers are losing all of their shit. If they are convicted of any crimes against humanity, which is pretty fucking huge, pretty broad spectrum at this point, because they are going after us in so many different ways. Anyone involved in any of those. And when we're talking about the person who created a lot of it, he's losing his shit. He's not going to have that stuff. He can buy all the fucking shit he wants. It's going back to the people. It says right there in those executive orders. Everything will be confiscated from anyone who is found to be in crimes against people, certain things you can't say, and against the little ones, They're going down. They're probably already, bye-bye, birdie. So all of their stuff will go back to the people. So, and when I was looking at that map again, the beautiful thing about the map is that, when you think about what I had said before, like the United States, and 75% of all the people live on the coast within like 100 miles. Like everybody goes towards the water. I think it's just part of the human, I have a few words coming in, human instinct that moves us towards water, because we know we need water. Water is part of our survival. So we kind of gravitate towards waterways. And so 75% of the people live on water, which really drives up the price, which, any of those places you go to, you see like it's fucking stacked. And where they tell us like they're going to put 9 million people in the line, and we're going to be able to walk 20 minutes to get from end to end. 9 million people in that 37 square kilometers, we're going to be able to walk. We're going to be fucking elbow to elbow. It's going to be like Disneyland in the middle of summer. Bullshit. it's like such nonsense. The absurdity that they try and sell us, like we're all just so stupid. And oh, it's just aggravating because they treat us like we're stupid. It's not stupidity. It is brainwashing. It's people being asleep. It's people just trying to survive this world. So it's very aggravating. But anyways, so when they do the this map, when the water comes in, it is going to be so much more waterfront land. So much. Even a lot, when I very first moved in this house, you know, and I had seen the map, you know, and I'd looked at it and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be like on the edge. Like I'm going to be waterfront property when this all happens. Like the ocean's going to come in, it's going to go up, and you look on the map and it is like right here where these mountains go down from Canada and stuff and through Washington State and down, I think it goes down to Oregon or something. You can look at the map, but right there, I'm on the edge of that. So, and all of these beautiful places are going to be gone. All these little islands and stuff are going to be all underwater. I don't know how deep underwater. Is it going to be like a long ways underwater? Or is it going to be where we could go out and, you know, scuba dive and go down into, look at these dead towns and dead cities. Whatever it's going to be sad. It's going to be hard. But it is going to be really cool to have so much more waterfront property. Like it may seem shallow or something, but I do think it is part of like our desire to be on waterfront. And I think that it is kind of like we are creating it. We are making it happen. We are changing this earth into what it is that we want. And I think most people, even people who live inland, are always like, man, I wish I had a lake house. Man, I wish I lived on the water. Man, I'd like to be closer to the water. Like you hear that stuff all the time. It is our desires, just like what I was saying. When you're manifesting a house, it's what you are putting out. We're putting that out as a collective. And it's going to accommodate that situation. And the land isn't going to go to fucking Gator Boy. That guy is fucking long gone. And, you know, whatever CGI fucking people that they have out here trying to trick us. And, which, by the way, how are we not in a war? And they're still trying to terrorize us, showing like, oh, China's shooting missiles over there right now. It's like, okay, well, you know, it was a big thing. Shouldn't we be getting emergency broadcasts? Shouldn't we be being locked down? From what I'm hearing now, Joe is just focused on, you know, the pox and, what is that called? When the government takes over, martial law. He wants to put in martial law or some bullshit. So, I don't know. You know, every time you think like, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Maybe it'll be the nukes. It'll be the banks. It'll be, you know, it'd be the vote thing. You know, all of these different things that are just all juggled up in the air. Anything can fall at any moment. But they just somehow keep it going and keep it going. But there's way too many balls up. Something's going to fall. Something's going to crash. And something's going to change everything. So we just got to keep holding on and, you know, stay logical. Stay open-minded. Stay present. Stay focused on what is real. You know, because they are trying to manipulate people's minds to get them to get scared and be in fear and all of that shit. It's all fucking nonsense. And so many people are spending so much energy, and they're going to be faced with having to face that. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was just so focused on this. I should have been working on me. I should have been doing my healing. Now I'm just getting bombarded. So, because none of us know when this flips what we're going to be faced with. And so that's why I'm always like, work on you, be prepared, because everyone's going to face themselves in the mirror. And, you know, you don't even know what all you've worked on until, you know, you have to keep looking at yourself and seeing the truth behind the mask that you put onto the world. So anyways, you know, I do feel like it's getting close. I feel like everybody can feel the pressure building. Everybody can feel the energy shifting around. Everybody can feel more and more people are waking up. More and more truth is being spoken. More and more people are understanding about consciousness and energy and their own abilities, and how our abilities have been used against us when we had no awareness. But all of that is shifting. So, again, just stay in your inner knowing. Everything's going to be fine. They cannot hurt you. They cannot do anything to you. That's all an illusion. And you're here for this. You're here for whatever's about to happen. And, it is really exciting times. And so just everything that keeps happening, everything that happens on a daily basis, don't tuck it away. Don't save it for later. Don't be like, I'll deal with that later. No, deal with it. It's coming up for you for a reason. Everything is coming up for you for a reason. And it's for your opportunity to let these things go. Let them go, let them go, let them go. And so then you will be more prepared for whatever is to come, whatever is the deepest thing that you have to face in yourself. And just remember too, like, people take on so much pressure, like, oh my God, I got to do this, I got to do that. And especially they've just implanted it in people's minds. Like, this is a test, either you do good or you do bad. And if you do bad, you're going to hell. That is so untrue. You are here to learn. You are here to experience. You're always going in to learn and experience. You don't have to know anything right now. You don't have to learn everything right now. You have eternity to learn. So do not be hard on yourself. And remember, when you do learn something, don't be hard on yourself that you didn't know it already. Allow yourself to actually learn it. So many people, they learn something and then they're so mad. Why didn't I know this sooner? It's like, because you're learning. We're here to learn. Be open to learning. So anyways, there was probably some more stuff that I was going to say, but I get going on a tangent, I guess. So anyways, just stay focused on you. I'm still going to be hoping this gassing ends soon. I'm really sick of it. And I don't know. Sometimes I think, is it just going to wipe out all my neighbors? Maybe they're already all gone. Maybe that's why it's so fucking dead silent out there. Maybe it is. I mean, I'm the last person on earth over here. Like, something's going to happen. Like, these people who are just consuming chemicals and toxins and then breathing them in, because each thing is a chemistry thing. Each thing is to create the reaction between the other things. So if you're taking this, and they're depending on you drinking those Diet Pepsis and, all of chips and all of the shit that they put so much shit in. And then they put in these certain chemicals that you go in and breathe in, and then you have a chemical reaction inside. And so, I don't know. To me, keep as many chemicals out of your diet as possible, because we're being bombarded by chemicals, toxins, gases, and additives, every single thing that they can do to murder us. So anyways, I'll stop talking now. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day.